Chapter 1 Arjun Vishad Yug. Army of Kauravas and Pandavas had assembled for the war on the holy field of Kurukshetra. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, what are my sons and sons of Pandu who have gathered in the holy field of Kurukshetra for war are doing? Sanjay said, seeing the formation of Pandava's army, King Duryodhan has walked up to his teacher Dronacharya and is saying something. Respected sir, look at the vast army of Pandavas which has been arranged with expertise by your wise disciple, son of Drupad. In this battlefield, there is a large number of expert archers, equally powerful as Bhim and Arjun, and also great fighters Yuyudhan, Virat and Drupad. There are mighty Yudhavanyu and very powerful Uttam Mauja, son of Subhadra, and along with the sons of Draupadi, there are many great warriors. There are great heroes like Drishtaketu, Chekitan, the gallant king of Kashi. There are also Purujit, Kunti Bhoj and Shaibya, great men. O best of Brahmins, you will know about especially powerful warriors on our side, which I now describe for your knowledge. On our side are ever victorious you yourself, Bhishma, Karan, and also Kripacharya, Ashwathama, Vikram, and Bharushiriva. There is a large number of heroic fighters well trained in the art of warfare, equipped with arms, ready to lay down their lives for us. Unlimited is the strength of our army protected by Bhishma, while the strength of Pandava's army is limited, though marshalled by Bhim. Therefore, I call upon you all, securing your respective positions, must protect Grandshire Bhishma. The elderly Grandshire Bhishma blew his conch with a lion-like roll, exultingly delighting Duryodhan. Thereafter, conches, kettle drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns suddenly blared forth, and their combined sound overwhelmingly creating fierce noise. Shri Krishna and Arjuna, who were seated on a chariot drawn by white horses, also blew their divine conches immediately. Lord Krishna blew his conch named Panchajanya, Arjun his conch named Devdutt, and dangerous task-doer Bhim blew his conch named Poundra. Kunti's son Yudhishthira blew the conch Anantavijay, while Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Manipushpak, named conches respectively. The excellent archer king of Kashi, the great warrior Shikhandi, Drishtadum blew their different conches. Virat and the invincible Satyaki, King Drupad, the 5 sons of Draupadi, and the mighty armed Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra, blew their respective conches. Resonant, fearful noise filled the earth and the sky, which created a feeling of fear and sorrow in the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. Sanjay said, O King, Pandu's son Arjun, seated on a chariot with insignia of Hanuman on the flag atop his chariot, took up his bow. On seeing your sons, he said, O Achyutya, Shri Krishna, please move the chariot between the two armies so that I may be able to see those present on the war field with the desire to fight, and I may also see with whom all I have to fight in this war. I may also be able to know the warriors standing in support of Duryodhan and recognize them. Sanjay said, on these words of Arjuna, the conqueror of sleep, Shri Krishna moved the chariot between the two armies. Shri Krishna, in presence of Grandshire Bhishma, Dronacharya and other kings, said, O Arjuna, See these Kauravas who have assembled here. There Prathaputra Arjun could see his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, cousins, sons, nephews, grandnephews, friends, father-in-law and well-wishers standing in both armies. Kunti's son Arjun saw father-in-law and well-wishers. He saw relatives ready with arms on both sides and also saw grandsire, teachers, uncles, brothers and friends. Arjun, overwhelmed with emotions, said to Shri Krishna, "My limbs are becoming numb, seeing my own men on both sides. Hair all over my body are standing on their ends, are creating shudders, mouth is getting dry, and skin is burning with heat. Gandhi is slipping from my hands. I am numb and unable to do anything while standing. Oh Madhav, I am nervous seeing everything happening in this field. I do not find any good in killing own kinsmen. O Krishna, neither I desire to be victorious, nor I desire to enjoy pleasures. O Govind, what use will it be to me such a kingdom, pleasure, or even this life? Those with whom we desire to enjoy pleasures, they themselves sacrificing all comforts, or in the battlefield to fight. Teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, grandsons, father-in-law, grandnephews, brother-in-law, and other kinsmen are standing here, pitting their lives and riches at stake. O Madhusudan, I do not wish to slay them, even if they attack me. By killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, what satisfaction will we derive? By even getting dominion over the three worlds, what to talk about this earth? What satisfaction we will derive out of killing sons of Dhritarashtra? On the contrary, I will be committing sin by killing them. O Madhav, I don't see it to be appropriate to kill sons of Dhritarashtra, relatives and friends, because I will not get any pleasure out of killing my own kinsmen. Out of great illusion, they are unable to see the harm they are causing and the sin that they are forthcoming. Out of greed, illusion, they are unable to see the harm they are causing and the sin that they are committing. O Janardhan, we are the ones who understand the harm caused by destruction of dynasty. Why should we not muse over finding ways to save us from committing this sin? Dynastic traditions vanquish with destruction of a dynasty, and with the destruction of dynasty traditions, the family gets involved in irreligious activities. Women of the clan become immoral, and unwanted children are born with increase of irreligious activities. With the increase in unwanted children, hell-like conditions get created. The ancestors of such families also fall due to lack of sacrificial offerings. Dynastic traditions are destroyed by bad deeds of these unwanted children, and dynastic religion and family traditions are also destroyed with their bad deeds. O Janardhan, I have heard from gurus that those who destroy dynastic religion have to dwell in hell indefinitely. Oh, how strange is it that the greed for kingdom and pleasures we are prepared to commit sin and are eager to kill our own kinsmen. The sin of killing my own men I am not prepared to commit under any circumstances. Rather, I would like to lose and be killed by them. Sanjay said, saying this, Arjun threw down all his arms and with trembling heart sat down in the rear part of the chariot. Om Tat Sat, thus in Shrimad Bhagwad Geeta Upanishad, the science of Brahma, the scripture of Yoga, dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjun, the chapter 1 named Arjun Vishad Yoga is over. Shrimad Bhagwad Geeta, Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Sanjay said, seeing Arjun tearful, bewildered with grief, Shri Krishna said, O Arjun, how this sense of attachment has arisen in your mind in this difficult situation, because this has neither been advocated nor followed by great learned men, neither it leads to heaven nor it gives fame. So, O Arjun, do not subject yourself to unmanliness, it does not befit you. O destroyer of enemies, free yourself from shackles of emotional weaknesses of heart and prepare yourself to fight. Arjun said, O Madhusudan, how will I fight Bhishma and Dronacharya? Because, O Arisudan, they both are worthy of worship. How can I hit them with arrows? I would not like to kill such worship gurus. Instead, I feel it will be better to beg for food to eat, because by killing gurus, I would be enjoying wealth and pleasures mixed with their blood. We do not know what is best, whether to fight or not to, and it is also not known whether we will win or they will. We do not want to kill sons of Dhritarashtra and live. Cowardice has destroyed my virtue of bravery. I am caught in a dilemma whether to perform my duty, and that to what? I am your disciple and am in your shelter. Kindly let me know the definite path that is good for my welfare. I am unable to find any way to get relief from sorrow that is destroying my powers. Godly position or rule over the entire prosperous earth does not seem to be enough to relieve me from my grief. Sanjay said, O King, Arjun, the conqueror of sleep, told Shri Krishna, the master of all senses, that he did not find any good resulting from this war. Saying, O Govind, I am not going to fight, became silent. O Bharatvanshi Dhritarashtra, Shri Krishna smilingly said the following words to Arjun in a pitiable weak condition. Shri Bhagavan said, O Arjun, you are struck with grief and compassion for those who do not deserve under spell of attachment. You are talking like a pandit. Even pandits do not grieve for those who have died or even those who are alive. It is not that at any point of time you were not there. Neither it is that I was not, nor they were not there, and that also it's not true that all will not be existing in future. Jivatma, the soul in a body, grows from childhood to young and then turns old. This change is continuously taking place. In the same way, Jivatma on death of a body enters another, and the sane and the stable are not grieved by such a change. O son of Kunti, as summer and winter, even pleasures of senses are temporary, nothing is everlasting. O Bharatvanshi Arjun, to bear these with ease is best for you. O noble man, the wise who is not affected by the influence of senses does not dwindle in relation to outside conditions and remains stable under all circumstances. Such a wise is eligible for liberation. The seers of truth have concluded that material body has no existence and the soul does not undergo any change. The soul that pervades the body is indestructible. None can destroy it except it to be eternal. Atma, the soul, is eternal and will remain in the true nature. O Bharatvanshi, you fight, only bodies will perish. Neither soul gets killed nor it can be killed. The one who cannot understand this nature of the soul is highly ignorant. O Parth, the soul is neither born nor does it die. The soul is it was and will always remain. On destruction of the body, only body perishes. The soul is that energy within the body which is indestructible. O Parth, the one who knows the soul is unborn, eternal and changeless, gets none killed, nor can he kill anyone. As a man puts on new clothes, discarding the old, the same way the soul acquires a new body, giving away the previous one. Air cannot dry it, the soul. None can break it. It can't be burned. It cannot be washed. No weapon can cut the eternal soul. Water cannot wet the subtle soul. It is unborn, endless. It cannot be destroyed. O Arjun, the nature of the soul is unthinkable. It does not undergo change. Even if you accept only this much, it is not wise on your part to grieve. O Mahabahu Arjun, if you accept the soul to take birth and die again and again, then also you are not supposed to grieve. The one that is born has to die and will be born again. So it is unwise to grieve for that what is inevitable. None can be seen before birth or after death. One can be seen in between only. We can see the living only in between, so it is undesirable to grieve. Rarely the enlightened one knows this amazing quality of the soul, and rarely someone describes this appearance of the soul. Rarely one listens to such description, and rarely one after listening can understand this quality of the soul. O Arjun, soul resides in the body. Soul cannot be destroyed because howsoever hard one tries, soul cannot be killed. So you should not grieve for anyone. Thinking about your dharma, duty, religion, you cannot intimidate yourself. Missionary war is beneficial for Kshatriya. O Parth, such a war opens doors of heaven for a Kshatriya, and such an opportunity comes to the lucky one. If you do not want to fight this war, then neglecting your Kshatriya duty of protecting the society, you will be committing a sin. O running away from the battlefield, stigma of cowardice will be pinned to you, and the pain that it will cause will be worse than death. You will not be considered as leaving due to love for kinsmen, but in the eyes of the great warriors, you will be considered as having run away due to fear. Your enemies will defame you with unkind, insulting words. It will become difficult for you to live bearing insults. O Kunti's son, must remember that in case you are killed in the war, you will go to the heaven, and in case you win, think you will enjoy all pleasures of the kingdom. Decide getting rid of cowardice. Do not run away from your duty and fight with all your might. Abandon the idea of happiness and sorrow, win and defeat. Just do your duty, that is war, which will keep you away from the touch of any sin. So far, I have given you knowledge about the soul. O Parth, now get the knowledge about Nishkam Karma, Yoga, and by putting this into practice, you will be able to make yourself free from bonds of karma. O Arjun, any act done as Nishkam Karma Yoga is never destroyed, and by following this path, fear of birth and death vanishes. O Kurunandan, to tread on this beneficial path, one needs a definite intellect, whereas intellect of ignorant persons are of various types. O Arjun, the ignorant desires to reap the fruits and do not consider anything above heaven because they want satisfaction and enjoy pleasures of life and cannot think of anything beyond this. They follow the ways given in Vedas and carry out pujas described therein. Non-judicious cannot be focused, and even in a state of samadhi, they cannot be stable. Vedas describe three gunas, qualities of nature, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic, which influence the life of everyone. O Arjun, rise above to be free from the influence of these gunas so as to be free from worries. As a small source of water has the same qualities as the sea or the river, and on acquiring a bigger source, the utility of the smaller reduces. The same way, on attaining enlightenment, utilities of Vedas also reduces. You have the right to do your prescribed duties, but do not have any right to decide about its fruits. So, never think yourself to be the cause of all that is happening in your life, but at the same time, never ever think of not doing your prescribed duties. O Arjun, give up the desire for fruit of your actions. Just act, denounce attachment, and be stable in success and defeat. O Arjun, reward-seeking act is too small in comparison to Nishkam Karma. Seek refuge in the divine knowledge. Pitiful are those who seek fruits of their actions. The one endowed with wisdom, the one engaged in Nishkam Karma, gets rid of both sin and saintly acts in this life itself. O Arjun, therefore, devote yourself to yoga, which is skillfully working, because the wise who abandons the fruits of his actions gets freed from the compulsions which bind him to birth and attains Amritmaya state. O Arjun, when you are able to cross over the swamps of attachment, then you will attain heard of worth hearing state of detachment. O Arjun, having heard various theories, your mind is confused. When you will be able to steadfast in the true nature of God, then you will be able to correctly analyze this knowledge, and your intellect will be able to understand the true nature of existence. Arjun inquired, O Keshav, what are the characteristics of the one situated in divine consciousness with a stable intellect? How does he talk? How does he sit? Kindly explain. Shri Krishna said, O Arjun, when one gives up all desires arising in the mind, then he is happy within the soul and attains a state of a stable intellect. The one who is not panicky in any situation of sorrow and does not desire for any pleasures, there is no fear or anger in his mind, such a person is said to be in the stage having attained state of stable intellect. The one doing what one is supposed to do remains unattached under all conditions, is not delighted on getting what he desires, is not disturbed in unfavorable circumstances, and remains same always, is the indication of his having attained stable intellect. As a tortoise withdraws its limbs into the shell on perceiving danger, the one who is able to control all his senses and does not allow his senses to wander in undesirable areas, he is a Karam Yogi established in divine wisdom. One may restrain his senses from enjoying their respective objects, but normally the desire for the enjoyment of those objects remains, but as stabilized his intellect, he is able to realize supreme and gives up all desires. O Arjuna, the senses are so powerful and turbulent that they pull away the mind forcibly, even of a person capable of discrimination and practicing self-control. The one who is able to control his senses completely and focus his mind on me, such a person has a stable intellect. O Arjun, the one who keeps thinking about sensual pleasures is always running after fulfillment of desires and frowns when desires remain unfulfilled. In the fit of anger, his intellect is destroyed, and then he is unable to distinguish between wrong and right. In such a situation, intellect is destroyed, and when intellect gets destroyed, one is ruined. But the one who frees himself from desires and grudges by controlling his senses is able to control his mind and can receive complete blessings from God. Thus, When he receives blessing from God, all his sorrows end. He achieves a state of tranquility of mind, and his intellect is firmly established in God. Whose mind and senses are not in control, cannot stabilize his intellect, cannot get peace, and is devoid of feelings. How can such a person be happy whose mind is not at peace? As a boat in water is drifted away by the wind, the same way desires of a person control his intellect. O Arjun, the one who has control over his senses and his intellect, doing every action, remains stable. The one who is engrossed in worldly affairs considers physical pleasures as the goal, considers attainment of physical pleasures as the day and the dearth of physical pleasures as the night. Whereas a person of divine knowledge considers physical pleasures as the night, and distance from such pleasures is the day for his soul. As the water from rivers merges in the sea and does not disturb it, the same way all enjoyments do not create disorder in the mind of a person of stable intellect. The one who is free from material desires, greed and ego, he only, while performing Nishkam Karma, attains peace. O Arjun, the one who is in such a situation is the one who has realized God, and having attained this state, he is a yogi who cannot be deceived. Till the end, he will remain in the same state and achieve the ultimate peace and tranquility. Om Tat Sat. Thus in Shrimad Bhagwad Geeta Upanishad, the science of Brahma, the scripture of Yoga, dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjun, the chapter 2 named Sankhya Yoga is over. Thanks for watching, and if you have liked, please share with your friends and subscribe to the channel.